There's a law in Canada that governs the life of Indigenous people, and it's 150 years old. So back in 1867, when Canada became a dominion, the responsibility of Indigenous people's lives and their lands was also transferred to the federal government. Traditional governments of the Indigenous peoples that were there from thousands of years before the Europeans and the settlers came in were dismissed. New legislation was passed in 1876 that further oppressed the Indigenous peoples, and it was called Indian Act. It basically gave government the right to control every aspect of First Nations lives, where they could live, what they could wear, and what they could be. And also they needed permission from the government officials known as Indian agents to leave their reserves. It also resulted in the formation of the residential schools where kids were taken up from their families and were forced to forget their language and their culture. Act was updated over the years. For example, in 1951, the First Nations ceremonies were made legal again. Great, right? Not only that, in 1960, the First Nations and the Indigenous peoples got their right to vote. Great. But the thing is, this act still exists today.